Hello everyone, today's story is Udaan, flying high in the sky. To achieve your dreams touching the sky, but the path is filled with harsh realities of life. Arpita and her grandmother stayed in a small hut in the slum area of Amnapuram Vasti on the outskirts of Delhi. Arpita's parents had died in an accident when she was 2 years old, so she was raised by her grandmother with love and affection. Monsoon was around the corner and the little Colin was going to turn 7 years old soon. Few women from the neighborhood, along with her grandmother, had decided to throw a surprise birthday party for Arpita and make her day special. Granny was referred as Dadi by everyone in Amnapuram Vasti. This Bhuvanshka was a short-statured 60-year-old strong woman with wrinkles on the soft pink cheeks and a red scarf always tied around the head circumference, covering the borders of the long ears, carrying the oxidized silver-plated earrings. The old lady never removed the scarf or the earrings even at night. They were all part of her memories, deeply buried down the edges, emerging like a thunderstorm wave every time the heavy showers dropped on the wooden planks of the hut. The scarf was something her mother had tied around the neck when they parted during the riots, and the long earrings were the only ornaments she had brought along with her husband on one of their visits to the big bazaar, before he fled away to another place forever. All her family had departed from their life cycle, leaving the old woman alone with her granddaughter. So many times while going to the school, Arpita had stopped at Larkin's shop and stared at the pink hanging dress from outside. Seeing this, grandmother had sold her gold chain and brought the shining dress and kept aside in a huge metallic box with a lock, so it remains as a secret gift for her granddaughter's surprise birthday. The remaining money was added to her account at Patperi, a local home bank, governed by a head person who is an administrative along with few people handling the accounts. The whole logic behind this reserve bank was that everyone working around contributed a specific amount every month, and on the last day a lucky mascot was picked up from the slot who was handed the complete package of money. This was a small effort adopted by the locals of Amnapuram slum, so if anyone needed emergency funds for a particular month in advance, they were benefited with this scheme, and additionally it served as a savings deposit. Every morning Arpita's dadi used to make tea and chapati, traditional Indian tortilla, and then they both used to go to a nearby construction site where grandma used to lift the bricks and the little girl used to sit there and play with her toys or enjoy with the kids of other workers. Afternoon routine was confined to heavy meal which comprised of chapati and veggie, post which the rickshaw driver, Deepak uncle, picked up few kids from that area including Arpita and dropped them at the nearby school. He never charged grandma for this. Once in a while, when the old woman cooked some chicken curry, he was invited for lunch or dinner. Locals of the slum area assisted grandmother's house in every possible way they could. Everyone stayed in harmony and there was a great sense of unity seen among all of them in the slum locale. Next week was Arpita's birthday and she was missing her parents. Every time seeing the other kids' families and their mother or father attending the school events, the poor girl longed for those moments encircling around tiny little things of hugging tightly to her mother or dropping head on father's shoulders, tightly holding his hands and walking few miles on the beach. She used to love her grandma a lot, but still the strong desire to be in the arms of her parents never faded away. She had expressed this desire to Deepak uncle to celebrate her birthday with her parents. The man then decided to make that event special by inviting the complete slum members and lightening the whole basti with floral decors of orchids, lilies in combination with colorful streamers hanging around the entire lane from her home all the way to the central pole where the whole area used to celebrate Ganpati, Diwali, and any religious function together. He spoke with Dadi and everyone to keep this as a surprise event. All had done great coordination and support as Arpita was their charm and Deepak used to help them in need always. The plan was going to be Arpita's singing melody performance on the katta, which was an open space beneath the big tree. Mic system and other equipments were arranged from the local singers club. Only 5 days were left for the birthday celebration. Arpita had golden voice that made the homemakers to do the chorus on her tunes, Manipal Dada and the gang members to enjoy their country liquor in the night, and the fading dream of making that area as the most polished poverty suburbs which used to vanish with the morning sun. Construction workers returning home late all tired and yet breathing air of refreshment listening to her lyrics, and yet there was patch of old men and women in melancholy. For them the deep notes flowing from the vocal cords of the girl was hope in their silence. Dada gang were the local goons with Manipal as their leader. They used to work for the MLA, member of the Legislative Assembly of that region, assisting in political rallies, making sure the complete community of Amnapuram slum votes for the same person, irrespective there was any progress, upgrade or a marked decline. They were only concerned about their minimal needs being fulfilled at the time of elections. If there was drainage, water-related problem, any employment or kids' school admission-related issues, any fights, they all were resolved by Manipal Dada gang. Let us say for residents, the slum area was their country and Manipal was their prime minister. His words were the final statement for them. Music talent hunt was at its peak in the country, and Manipal gang members thought that they can send Arpita at that event for an audition. If she gets selected, it would be perfect gift for her birthday, and also it would be proud moment for our Basti, and we can sell some slots to newcomers in search of employment. Dadi, it will be proud moment for Amnapuram and your Arpita will reach great heights. This is the only opportunity. Manipal tried to convince the old woman. Deepak assured with his words, "Really, our Arpita will be on the 7th cloud. Her voice will reach the entire continent. Plus, Amnapuram slum area will get some fame and the other kids will also showcase their talents. I'm so much happy that our small girl will walk the red carpet of success." Let her take the Udaan. The grandmother started weaving threads of dreams, imagining her small girl reaching the peak of the mountain and waving flag at her and the people of the slum standing right below. Deepak had no children of his own but a nagging wife who did not approve of his impractical arithmetic of earning less and spending more on other people's kids. She, on the other hand, was very hard-working lady, getting up early around 5 a.m. to reach few paint houses in the opposite towers for preparing lunch and dinner for the rich families. So the only life and happiness he found was in Arpita's small talks, her grandma's chicken curry and his small rickshaw kids gang, their smile, small hopes, plays daily school fun time. Sometimes he was their savior when they used to get into mess. He used to act as their parent and meet their school teacher or principal. Now the school authorities also knew that he was their parent saver, saving kids from their parents' scoldings or beatings. Deepak understood the kids' psychology more than even their birth parents. Their weekend trips to parks, beach fawns, and Tip-Top Plaza restaurant to give them burgers, softie, yet sometimes dress or t-shirt for someone who got good grades or even during special occasion. Sometimes when God takes away a valuable thing from you, it bestows you with another arm of exponential happiness. For the innocent children, God had conferred them with a guardian to guide them in this lost world of darkness. Talent Hunt Competition. 2 days before the talent hunt competition, the whole troupe started preparing the girl for the audition session. Manipal and the boys of the gang got some drums and mic from the temple management. Deepak brought in Marco and his friend Junaid, who played guitar and piano in the orchestras along with their band. He had helped these guys in the past when they wanted to reach their band event on time during a rickshaw strike. So in return, they agreed to play the instruments and help Arpita in her practice sessions. Whole Amnapuram was blending in the shadows of the chords, oozing from every consonance of Arpita's breath, touching every leaf and inner pigments swiftly, and marching towards the morning dews and pouring the soul through the wind that touched the richer faces and then moving across the poverty shades. Arpita practiced daily with everyone around assisting her and providing their feedback so she gets selected in the audition. On the day of the event, Arpita waved by with hopes of lyrics that touched the sky, looking high up with those brown eyes more determined at her friends, the old Dadi, her grandmother standing at their small hut's window, Anju Bhabi, the bride who used to comb her hair and dress her up as she was the newly wedded girl's guide to take her around and the interesting element in her otherwise miserable life. Ramnik, the stingy shopkeeper and the most blunt person, all waved Arpita with best wishes, including the women and men standing there defining the girl's world since the time she had started understanding her life. Bhanu, Amu, Alka, Jagdish and Varun, all friends, got greeting card as token of their support. Tears rolled from Dadi's eyes as Anju consoled her that her granddaughter was only going few miles away to achieve her dreams. Arpita finally waved bye to Deepak uncle, the other guardian, without whom she never ever would have travelled this far, with a small hand as she boarded the bus along with Manipal and two other boys. It was almost midnight. Event was at 3 p.m. and the young girl was supposed to return around 9 p.m. Even if the competition delayed and the bus was missed, they could have called Deepak and he would have left everything around and gone all the way to fetch them. After all, she was his self-proclaimed daughter. So what exactly happened? The incident at the regal event. Arpita is lost. Grandmother gets worried and waiting at the footsteps of the Shankar temple with Anju prays to the god for the safety of her granddaughter. Deepak assures that Arpita will be fine. He goes in search for Manipal and his boys. It seems that they had received call from MLA's party members and were asked to join a rally on an urgent basis. So Manipal had to leave with one of the boys at the next stop, and Chandu took Arpita to the talent show at Regal and left her at the registration counter where they were taking entries. Post that, Chandu left the venue to take few calls and tea from a nearby stall. Thinking that the large queue of participants will take some time, he fled from the site to have some snacks. On returning back to the venue, there was much larger crowd than anyone could anticipate. Chandu started looking for Arpita but couldn't find her anywhere. The members on the entrance door of the auditorium where the auditions were taking place did not allow Chandu to enter without a pass. He waited for hours outside but never saw the little girl coming from the doors. Around 8:30 p.m., the entire crew was wrapping up and all the rooms were checked. Getting stressed and panicked, he called Manipal, who in turn asked him to verify through CCTV cameras in case she was tired and sleeping under a chair or a hallway. All hotel authorities and manager checked the entire Regal suites, but there was no sign of the little girl. More stressed out, he took assistance of the hotel waiters who were kind enough to help Chandu in searching outside on the lanes and freeways, but all in vain. They returned back where the receptionist told them that 3 to 5 p.m. footage of CCTV can help them locate her if possible. Taking a close look at the captured video, Arpita was seen to get confused and exit the queue, departing the hallway from the wrong direction that opened on the other side into half-constructed mall work. Post that, the screen did not show any glimpse of her return. Even the backdoor footage did not capture the girl. Manipal arrived on the site along with local police folks, but after deep hunt also the little girl was not found. When Deepak and the locals of the slum heard about this incident, it created a storm of rage, hitting every particle of the mud surrounding dust and the minds of the people with a huge uproar which ended up in violent attacks between the populace, gang boys and the policemen. For few days, Arpita's photo kept flashing on the news channel. Few helping hands joined the boys from the gang and made their own searching troop, looking for the lost girl all around Delhi, ending into the dreamland city of Mumbai where the main event was going to be telecasted. But shadows of darkness prevailed at every turn and they all had to return back to their slum. Manipal also approached the MLA thinking that any person in a high position might help them in times of need. But the harsh reality slammed on his face with a great shock depicting the true face of politics. His eardrums couldn't believe at the words thrown from the back doors. The stern voice of the MLA ordering his secretary to inform the police to withdraw the FIR. Elections are at its peak, and media and opposition could take advantage of this situation and create a sensational ruckus of this incident. It is a daily sign of children getting lost and not a big deal. So this matter needs to be handled in a careful way, retorted the political person who was elected by the people to help them but was busy in protecting the chair for the upcoming election. Grandma was all alone with no one to feed or look after her. The grandkid was the living element in Babushka's life, but what left behind now was a quantum of solace in her eyes, underlying the hope that the child might return one day back. As the time was passing, with bundles of hopes intermixed with despair, the old woman's mind started becoming paralyzed to face the reality that she will never see the lost girl. Arpita was nowhere. Did she lost her way through the hallway and went to the street and couldn't find way back to the event place? Did someone take her to an orphanage or was she sold at a brothel? Was the girl prey to human traffickers? Life moves on, and for few days some people from the neighborhood stepped in to feed grandma and prattle on lengthy conversations in an attempt to divert the focus and heal the old mind. But how many curves can you integrate into an exponential parabola? It ends into infinite symmetry, which is beyond human calculation. Finally, the old woman resumed her routine back and started working at the construction site. On one such occasion, when the bricks grandmother is carrying are about to fall, Manipal comes in support to hold them, but she refuses and moves back. There is still a sense of guilt in Manipal's eyes, blaming himself for the girl getting lost. Deepak wonders if he would have taken her that day to the event, his so-called daughter Arpita would not be lost. There is silence in Amnapuram with the birthday decor and old granny's eyes awaiting for Arpita's return. This was a short story from my blog about a grandmother whose only survival factor was a granddaughter who gets lost. Will Arpita return back or not is left in the hands of future. Do let me know if you like this story and subscribe to my channel. We'll bring more interesting stories, inspiring thoughts with upcoming videos and with a cup of chai or coffee. Till then, have a great day and wonderful blessed life ahead everyone. Goodbye for now.